and learned a lot from them. And we've got quite a few of them that are able to step in now and give us some production, at times in the game, which is great for the future of the program. So.
Just the one loss in the regular season there at Sydney to Superior. What did that one loss do to the team as far as maybe just making sure they had their I's dotted and T's crossed going into matchups? Was it something maybe long-term down the road now you look back on and say maybe that was good for everybody, or what did that loss do to everybody?
Chris, that's exactly what we told the girls after that game, and it sounds funny for a coach to say that, but that game was the best thing that could happen to us. We were real tight in the beginning of the season, and I think it was mainly those girls were basically scared to lose. And we said, it's not the end of the world to lose a game, and sometimes being worried about that rather than trying to win can be more detrimental for a team. After that loss, those girls just refocused. I think they relaxed a little bit and realized that basketball was fun again, and it just carried us through the season. So really that loss was probably one of the most important games we had, and the fact that it was a loss was maybe good for us.
Now, this is going to sound like a major understatement, obviously. Kiana Wilford, when you have a player like that, it is a major factor. Now, while that may be an understatement, I think it's also good for folks to sit back and kind of also remember, like, how big a deal is this when you walk on the court with a player like that, the intimidation factor? I know teams are looking down at layup lines, trying to get a figure, okay, we watch film, but now we see her in person. It's just a big deal to walk out on the court with a player that big, that talented, and with her pedigree, it's got to make a major difference.
Oh, it does. The nice thing about that is she's just that great player. But it also makes the other players, especially this year, it just opens things up for them. Teams have to show a lot of attention to her, which opens things up. And I've been really proud of the way our guards have stepped up, and they drive the ball well, which opens it up for Kiana to get some good touches. They've shot the ball well. The second half of the season, we've shot the ball good when we've needed to. And I think just her attention, and the way those girls have played together, our assists have been extremely good this year. So, our girls are really not selfish. Kiana gets quite a few points. We got a lot of girls that are, around that 5, 6, 7 point average range, which, if you get 4 or 5 girls that are at that average, you put that with that good player that's averaging 18 to 20, that's a pretty good team. So
let's get to tonight's matchup. A win, you'll get right back to the state tournament for a 4th straight year. Pretty impressive stuff that this program has been laying out over the last few seasons. And your first year at the helm, I know you want to get to Lincoln, but you got one more hurdle to clear. This Syracuse team comes in with a record of 17-8. Let's start with what they do on the offensive side of the basketball, if you will. Kind of what's the scouting report on Syracuse offensively?
Syracuse has got a really good post player. She seals up really good. I think they're going to focus on trying to get the ball to her. And then they have a couple good shooters that if a person doesn't, keep them within arm's length, they'll hit a 3. They drive the ball well. So our defense is going to have to be spot on in this game. And I think if we can put some good ball pressure on them, I think that's going to help.
Now, what about we'll reverse it, check them out now defensively. What do they do? Are they a good rebounding team? Are they more of a ball pressure team? What do they do defensively that you guys really need to be on your toes about to handle?
They do like to put some pressure on. They have a couple different full court presses that they run. They try to force some turnovers there, and then their half court defense. They're going to rebound well. They, like I said, they have some more size than what we were probably looking at playing. So they're going to put some ball pressure. It's going to be a pretty good matchup for us. Pretty even. So.
And we'll get you out of here on this one, wrapping up with Mitchell girls coach Sean Harvey. Mitchell girls basketball coverage here in the postseason brought to you by Dooley Oil. Coach, if one thing really stands out that you guys need to do well to be in a position to win this thing and advance to Lincoln, what is that? What's the key to a win for you?
Defense. I've said it all year, and that's what we've kind of hung our hat on all year. If our defense is solid, I think we can come out with a win. So
there you have it from Mitchell girls coach Sean Harvey. Ahead of tip-off, we'll have it for you coming up here in just a few minutes. Coach, it's great to be back in the postseason with Mitchell. I know you're excited about this ball game and hopefully the week ahead. So thanks a lot for the time. We'll talk to you after the game.
All right, thanks, Chris.
We'll come back with more right after this on KNDB.
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged, fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form. And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience.
Visit the experts at Paul Reed Construction, your authorized Big Green Egg dealer. Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes high-performance lubricants and fuel improvers. We've been helping customers improve their operations for over 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and cut out the middleman and offer excellent service and value. Our products last longer and work better so that you spend less time maintaining equipment and more time making money. Whether you're in a factory, farm, fleet, or food processing facility, Hydrotex can help you. Visit hydrotexoil.com or call 308-635-8162.
We're talking with Syracuse High School girls basketball coach Andrew Pryor. You beat Auburn in your sub-district final. Talk a little bit about that win and what you saw from your team that you want to carry over against Mitchell.
It was a big win for us, mainly because they had just beaten us a week and a half before that. So it was really a redemption shot for us to get a second chance at them. And I thought the second time we played Auburn was more of our true look compared to the first time we played them. So it was really gratifying for the girls to redeem themselves and play hard and get a win against them. And moving on into the district final, I think that we can carry some of that momentum and being able to play as hard as we did and work off all the positives that we had against Auburn, I think will all help us in our district final against Mitchell.
Your team is averaging almost 50 points a game. What has led to the success of your team scoring?
Big part of our scoring, especially in that sub-district game against Auburn, was a balanced attack. We had all 5 starters anywhere from 9 to 12 points, which really, really adds up in the end. So what's nice about our team is when we have a good post presence inside to keep us consistent with our scoring, that's good. When the guards are able to chip in and hit some outside shots and attack the rim like they were against Auburn, that really adds up. And that's what I thought was a big part in leading us into victory against Auburn, is we had a really good balanced scoring attack.
You guys play Mitchell, a team you've never faced. What can you tell us about the Tigers?
It should be exciting to get to play someone new. They have a lot of seniors, about 6 seniors that they'll play, and maybe another player or 2 underclassmen off the bench, but they're very senior heavy. Their big post player inside is a 6'3" senior that is a really good, strong player inside for them, and their guards have some capabilities of scoring some points too from the outside. So they offensively have a pretty good attack themselves, and especially in the post game, that'll provide our biggest challenge defensively, is being able to slow down their 6'3" post player.
Coach, what's going to be the key in getting a win against Mitchell tonight?
Being able to slow down their scoring attack inside. Their post player averages about 18 points a game, and everything works around her offensively. So if we are able to slow her down and limit her scoring, because you won't be able to completely take away a player like that, but if you can limit other than that, we just need to come out defensively, play hard, communicate, and have some confidence and carry over some of that momentum from our sub-districts.
Syracuse has not been to the state tournament since 1986. What would it mean to you and your team to make it for the first time in 33 years?
That would be a really, really cool moment, especially for the girls to be a part of history right there. As you mentioned, 1986 was quite a long time ago, and two of our varsity players have a parent that have a mom that was on that team, so that would make it even more special to kind of continue that tradition on. And as a program and as a school, that would just be a really major accomplishment for us. And I hope that we're able to get that done, and I think we have a good shot to.
Syracuse High School girls basketball coach Andrew Pryor, thanks again for joining us for our pregame conversation. Good luck tonight.
Byers Realty would like to remind everyone that school is back in session, so make sure and watch for little ones in crosswalks. Be mindful of school speed zones, and take a second to double-check for pedestrians and bicyclists. We want all of our young students to have a wonderful and safe year. Visit callbyersrealty.com or stop by the office on Avenue B, next to Bumper to Bumper. The Panhandle's best, Byers Realty. Community strong, community proud. We have what you're looking for.
A 5'6" junior gets the start for Syracuse, averages 6 points a game, 3.5 rebounds. Brooklyn Nordhughes, another senior at 5'7", averages 7 points per contest. Grace Dammy, a 5'7" junior, as they dim the lights and light up the Big N and Big P here at North Platte High at midcourt. So a great setting and a great scene for these young ladies here this afternoon. Grace Dammy, a 5'7" junior, averages 4 points and 3 rebounds. Sarah Moss, a 5'11" senior, but she operates quite a bit on the perimeter, 6.5 points a game, knocks down 28% from behind the three-point line. And Meredith Clark, a state champ in track and field, I believe, in the shot. And getting the pregame chat in with their head coach down courtside, said she's a real bull in a china shop. She'll back you down, and we could have some fun in the post here today. So again, Meredith Clark, Sarah Moss, Grace Dammy, Brooklyn Nordhughes, and Lauren Meyer, the starting five for the Syracuse Rockets. 17-8, coming off a win over Auburn in their district final, sub-district championship game, 49-45. As for the Mitchell Lady Tigers, really no changes to this starting lineup throughout the regular season, and no changes here today. Bethany Sturkle, a 5'7" senior, averages 6.5 points a game, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Senior Kinsey Kano, 5'3", 4.5 points a game, 4 boards, 4 assists. Annabelle Gillen, 6.5 points per game scoring-wise, 5'7" senior for Gillen. Ricky Ayala, a 5'6" senior, averages 6 points and 3 rebounds. And, of course, rounding out the starting five, one of the best players in the entire state of Nebraska, 6'3" senior, UNLV signee, Kiana Wilfred, the home stretch of her high school basketball career at Mitchell High, hoping to punch the Lady Tigers ticket, or at least help punch that ticket one final time to a state tournament. Mitchell looks for their 4th straight trip to Lincoln here over the next 4 quarters of action. North Platte High is the location. Lights come back on just moments away from opening tip. Love it. They ring the bell over the loudspeakers. Syracuse in the road green uniforms, white numbers and letters, some black trim. Mitchell in the home whites, orange numbers and letters, black trim, and we are just about set for opening tip. Mitchell Lady Tiger postseason basketball brought to you by Dooley Oil. KDB TV, 1017 The Trail, and KDB.com, and of course, also today, 103.1 FM, KBIE. Ball's in the air, Mitchell controls the tip. Sturkle has it. Feeds it to the right side. Now coming back out high at the 10-foot volleyball stripe is Annabelle Gillen, defending on the perimeter. Nordhughes moments ago. Now Wilfred, they'll back off her with Clark. They'll both drop into the paint. Lobbing it from top of the key, down low to the block area, and Wilfred unable to get her feet set to get up off the floor and go up to receive that pass. First possession and a turnover committed by Mitchell. Here comes Syracuse. Handling the ball is Nordhughes. They get it middle, look opposite, into the front court. Syracuse now will set up shop with their first offensive possession of the afternoon. Handling is Lauren Meyer. This is a girls team that featured plenty of athletes on a state champion track team, a state tournament volleyball team. They go right to the rim, unable to score. Offensive rebound won't go for Clark. Ball still loose on the floor, out of bounds, last touch by Mitchell. It'll stay with Syracuse. 7:11 to play here in quarter number 1. Still scoreless between Syracuse and Mitchell. They lob the basketball into Moss. Clark trying to get post position down low. Dribbling middle. That's Moss. Lauren Meyer. Meyer staying very patient here. Syracuse still on this first trip down the floor offensively. Meredith Clark. Now Lauren Meyer. Pass down low. Block shot by Ayala. Ball grabbed by Wilfred. Here comes Kinsey Kano. Still scoreless. Annabelle Gillen. She'll throw it underneath. Out of bounds. Unable to grab the basketball on the feed was Ayala. 2 trips down the floor and 2 turnovers for Mitchell. Mitchell in the full court press. Their head coach, Andrew Pryor, said if I was Mitchell, talking with him before the game, he said, I would press us, and that's exactly what Mitchell's doing here in the early going. Lauren Meyer almost had the basketball knocked away by Annabelle Gillen. They get it to Moss. They'll bounce pass to the right side wing to Nordhughes. Now with it out high is Grace Dammy. Moss. Meyer on the catch. Clark moved away from the basket right now. Now she'll try to slide across and set up on the right block. Top of the key. Now a back cut and unable to score on the layup. Good back cut right there from Meyer, but she missed the layup. And we're still scoreless a little over 2 minutes in to this C1-1 district final with a trip to Lincoln on the line. They almost picked Kano's pocket. She picks up her dribble. Now Sturkle on the wing left side. Sturkle to Wilfred. They'll back off. Right side. Kano's going to fire away from outside. Kinsey Kano, a big basket from downtown. Mitchell leads 3-0. Meredith Clark swings the elbows. Gets rid of the basketball to Nordhughes. Bounce pass. Now up top Meyer. Sarah Moss on the catch right side, defended by Sturkle. They'll give it up. A pass low down around the ankles, and Grace Dammy couldn't get down to dig it out. It hits off her right foot. Ricochets back the opposite direction, far side, out of bounds. First turnover committed by Syracuse. 3-0 lead early for Mitchell. 5 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Winner advances to the girls' Class C1 state tournament. Bethany Sturkle. Wilfred still looking for her first touch of the game in the painted area. They'll lob it down low. This will go out of bounds again off the hands of Ayala. 3 turnovers in 4 possessions for Mitchell. That 4th possession in there that wasn't a turnover did result in a knockdown 3-point shot for Kinsey Kano. It's been a struggle right now, and now a turnover out near midcourt. And a layup for the Lady Tigers. Annabelle Gillen got the steal, got the run out, and the layup. And now a whistle and a jump ball in the backcourt. Gillen fired up. Possession arrow keeps it with Syracuse. 5-0. Mitchell leads early. Mitchell's going to drop back a little bit now and pick up near midcourt. Lauren Meyer handles the basketball across the timeline. Lost her footing, and a blocking foul out high will go against Annabelle Gillen. First foul called against Mitchell. Ainsley Hessler checks in for the first time, our first substitute for Mitchell. Hallie Wilhelm checks in, first sub of the game for Syracuse. Ball loose. Meyer can't score it. Offensive rebound. Wilfred a block shot, but a whistle and some contact. An early foul, first on Wilfred, comes with 4:36 to play in the first quarter. Obviously, Wilfred has to avoid foul trouble here today for Mitchell to be at their best. At the foul line is Meredith Clark, just a 54% shooter, but able to get Syracuse on the board as everybody has now been able to exhale. Each team has scored a point. Clark tries to make it a 5-2 game. Can she convert both at the stripe? She does. 5-2 lead for Mitchell. Some full court trapping pressure, it looks like right now, for Syracuse. Hessler throws it away in the backcourt, off the square. Mid-range jump shot falls for Sarah Moss. The steal, no hesitation, went right up and scored it off the glass. Some more pressure. Kano handles. They lob it to Ayala. Ayala down low, off the rim. It wouldn't go. Here comes Syracuse into the front court with Lauren Meyer. She'll slow the pace up. Meyer dribbles middle. Now Sarah Moss out high left side. Nearly halfway through this opening quarter here at North Platte High School. Lauren Meyer. Syracuse appears to be a pretty disciplined team in their half-court sets. Right side Clark. Clark whips a pass underneath. That's going to be deflected away out of bounds by Sturkle. It'll stay with the Syracuse Rockets. Meredith Clark will check out. Coming into the game is a 5'11 freshman, Lily Bollardson. We'll see if she's up to the task with 6'3 Kiana Wilfred down low. Another substitution as Brooklyn Nordhughes checks back in. On the catch, a three-point field goal would not drop. Offensive rebound. Syracuse doing a pretty solid job right now on the offensive glass. Second crack, no. And here comes Mitchell with Kano into the front court. Hounded from behind, had it knocked away. Another turnover committed by Mitchell. That is number 4 here in the opening quarter. 3.5 minutes to play. Syracuse with the basketball, trailing 5-4. On the catch is Wilhelm. Top of the key, Bollardson. Right side, Meyer shows basketball. They run Nordhughes off a screen. She's going to shoot the three. Off the heel of the iron, it would not go. Ball loose. Still on the floor. Grabbed by Annabelle Gillen and the Lady Tigers. 3 minutes, 5 seconds to play. Opening quarter. Mitchell has it, leading 5-4. Winner heads to the state tournament starting next Thursday. Out high with it, Wilfred. She doesn't want to operate with the ball in her hands for all that much time that far out. Bethany Sturkle's three ball wouldn't go. Backside rebound grabbed by Meyer. She'll clear and handle it herself. Bring it up the floor, jogs across the timeline. Gillen defending, now Sturkle defending. On the left wing, Wilhelm. Wilhelm gets middle, dribble penetration, and flips it up with the right hand. It goes off the square. Mitchell scored the first 5 points of the game. And now here comes Syracuse with 6 straight. They lead 6-5. Mitchell into the front court. No one stops basketball. Gillen sees that, goes right down into the paint area, and a reach-in foul called against the Syracuse Rockets, and this one will go Grace Dammy. First team foul whistled against Syracuse. Hessler out. Jessica Cotant comes into the game. So you've got Cotant, Wilfred, Kano, Sturkle, and Annabelle Gillen. They run a screen, try to free up Cotant. Entry pass comes to Wilfred. Wilfred banging down low. Can't get the shot to go. Ball loose underneath, grabbed by Syracuse. Cotant, some pressure in the backcourt. And they get rid of it to Nordhughes. 2 minutes, 9 seconds to play. Nordhughes will bring it up the floor across the timeline. Feed right side, Wilhelm. Side screen and roll with Bollardson. Now Nordhughes on the wing left. Again, they set the screen. Bollardson. And she caught it, shuffled the feet, walked with a basketball. Shot was blocked anyway by Wilfred, but it'll go as a turnover. And now we've got a timeout on the floor, a 30-second break. We'll keep it right here. 1:56 to play in the first quarter. Solid start for both these clubs. Mitchell got off to a quick start with the first 5 points of the game. Syracuse has rallied back with the game's last 6 points. It's both teams a feeling out process to be sure. Talking with Coach Pryor, he said he heard one of his team managers on the bus ride this direction today say they'd never been west of Grand Island. I would say crowd-wise here, pretty nice traveling contingency from Syracuse. They left at around 9 o'clock this morning. Mitchell across the side, far side from where I'm at, about 3 rows back behind the scorer's table. out of the timeout. It'll be Mitchell basketball in the home whites, trailing by 1. A minute and 52 seconds to play in this opening quarter. Kano to Cotant. Kiana Wilfred is scoreless so far. Wilfred's going to put it on the floor. Got deep and threw it away. Pass is intercepted along the baseline. Syracuse struggling to clear, but eventually they get rid of the basketball. Into the front court. Moss, they'll swing it right side. Nordhughes, a 3-ball down for Brooklyn Nordhughes. A 30% shooter from long range, and Syracuse leads 9-5. Lob pass, intercepted. Mitchell's turned it over 6 times here in the quarter. Moss on the wing. Moss dribbles to the foul line. Pass to the right wing, and a push, and a foul called against Mitchell down in the low post area. We'll check the scorer's table here. And the foul goes against Jessica Cotant, 3rd team foul on Mitchell. Ayala will come back in. Annabelle Gillen will sit. Meredith Clark back into the game, the 6-foot senior post player for Syracuse. 9-5 lead for the Rockets. Wilhelm inbounding, gets it in to Nordhughes. Nordhughes being defended, now out top to Clark. Clark waits for help, hands the basketball off. They'll move it to the wing right side. Bounce pass, left side wing. With it is Moss. Off a side screen and roll action. Moss cut off, gets it to Clark. Under a minute to play in the opening quarter. 4-point lead in the basketball right now for Syracuse. Lob underneath. Clark got it. Can't score. Wilfred able to swallow up that defensive rebound for Mitchell. Nice offensive set. They got the look they wanted. Clark just could not knock down the shot. Kano has it out high right side. Trying to free up. Running multiple defenders. A lot of contact on Wilfred right now down in the paint area. Shot from Ayala. Bounces around the rim and falls. First bucket of the game for Ricky Ayala. And the first points for Mitchell in a couple of minutes here. Could be the final possession of this opening quarter. 9-7 Syracuse with the 2-point lead. They turn it over. That is dangerous. They turn it over in the open court. Missed layup the other way from Bethany Sturkle, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Syracuse. It'll stay Mitchell ball. Syracuse going to sub in a couple of their starters here for this final 3.1 to make sure everybody is set. They've got the best defensive unit they could possibly get out on the floor. Every possession in this game, at least through almost this opening quarter, looks like it's going to be huge. Ball is loose. Can Kano tie it? She can't. With a final shot, the buzzer sounds. First quarter in the books here at North Platte High School. Girls C1-1 district final. It is 9-7 with Syracuse leading over Mitchell. We're back right after this on KNEB.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
Multiple spots today on KNEB TV, also 101.7 The Trail, and today's best country, B103 Auburn and Nebraska City. Start of the second quarter, a dogfight already underway here. It is 9-7 Syracuse with the 2-point lead. Mitchell ball to start quarter number 2. Ball loose on the floor. Syracuse hits the deck. Cotant picks up the loose trash, goes up, scores it off the glass. Cotant gets the bucket. And we're tied back up at 9 apiece. Syracuse into the front court. Nordhughes canned a 3 in that first quarter. Gives it up to Lauren Myers to handle the bulk of the ball handling duties so far for Syracuse. A little over 30 seconds gone by in quarter number 2, and we're tied up at 9 apiece. Dammy on the perimeter, a 5'7" junior. Gets rid of the basketball, cycles through. Now Meyer. Dribble penetration and a walking call. Whistle blows. She lost the dribble high, wanted to pass it, couldn't corral the ball, took that extra slide step, and that is turnover number 5. Turnovers is definitely something we've seen here early in this game. The two teams have combined for 11. Mitchell scored the last 4 points, and we are tied at 9. Underneath, Cotan open, missed the layup. The rebound comes to Meyer on the backside of the iron. Meyer dribbles it up the floor herself across the timeline. Gives it to Meredith Clark. Now right side, Sarah Moss. Lob pass, Dammy. One dribble, gets rid of it quickly. Moss, they'll reverse the basketball, right wing Nordhughes. She's looked for her shot multiple times early. Clark with an up and under with a left hand, can't score. Offensive rebound, fouled from behind. Or is this foul going to go on Wilfred? This is a huge call at the scorer's table. Oh my, it's Kiana Wilfred picking up her second with 6.5 minutes to play in the first half. And Wilfred's going to head to the bench for Mitchell with those 2 personal fouls. Has yet to score in the game. And with 6.5 minutes to play in the second quarter, Syracuse has already accomplished one of their top priorities today. And that is getting some foul trouble in the books on Wilfred. Now we've got a walk called against Meredith Clark. So each team now with 6 turnovers. Barely 9.5 minutes into the contest. Mitchell basketball. We're tied at 9. Again, Wilfred just went to the bench with her second foul. The 6'3" dominant senior post player for Mitchell. Bethany Sturkle. Annabelle Gillen. They reach in, they take the ball away from her, and now a double dribble called against Grace Dammy. Now 7 turnovers, and Mitchell's going to keep the ball on their end of the floor. Gillen, Cotant, Ayala, Sturkle, and Kano, the 5 on the floor right now for Mitchell. Annabelle Gillen inbounds to Jessica Cotant. Left corner, gets the basketball out on the perimeter to Kinsey Kano. Right-hand dribble, now with the left. Comes back with a crossover to the right. Hesitation dribble, gives it up to Sturkle. They wanted a walk on Sturkle, no whistle. Bethany Sturkle has it back out high. Sturkle, 5 minutes, 50 seconds to play. Still tied at 9, a low-scoring grinder. 2 unfamiliar foes. Stepping into a long 3, missing badly, Kinsey Kano. Rebounded by Grace Dammy, and she gets the basketball to Hallie Wilhelm. Wilhelm brings it herself into the front court. Lauren Meyer. Bounce pass intercepted on the bounce. Cotant poked it away, and here comes Annabelle Gillen. The turnovers really becoming a factor right now for Syracuse. They've turned it over 8 times. Timeout taken by Andrew Pryor, the head man. A 2014 graduate of Hastings College. Had a nice visit with him as they arrived here in the building earlier this afternoon. Nice guy, liked the matchup. Felt confident that this type moment and stage would not be too much for his young ladies. Again, mentioned this earlier, a state champion team in track last spring for the girls. A state volleyball qualifier this past fall. Clark is a state champion herself individually in track and field, and they know what they're up against. Mitchell's been a juggernaut the last 3+ years, trying to qualify for their 4th straight trip to the Class C1 state tournament. Got a round 1 win against Pierce last year, then got knocked out by the eventual state champs Columbus Scotus before falling in the 3rd place game to Lincoln Christian. 5 minutes and 15 seconds to play. First half action here at North Platte High. Girls C1-1 district final. And it has been a defensive battle. It stays that way. Sturkle, a steal in the open floor. And just flat out missed a breakaway layup. And then a reach-in foul goes against Sturkle after the missed layup. After the defensive rebound went to Syracuse. That's the 15th foul committed by Mitchell. Just 1 foul so far called against Syracuse. And in a game that's featured so little scoring, the ability to get to the foul line at some point in either of these halves via the bonus could be key. Nordhughes on the catch. They leave her open. She's going to shoot it. She's going to hit it. Brooklyn Nordhughes leads all scorers with 6. That's her second 3-point field goal. Pressure in the backcourt. Jaden Kano into the game for the first time. Almost throws it away to a very athletic Lauren Meyer defending, running to the near sideline. In that zone, three-quarter court trap. Kano comes out quickly, replaced by her older sister, Kinsey. 4:41 to play. Kano on the catch on the inbounds pass. She's directing traffic. Kind of puts that right shoulder into the defender to clear some space. Annabelle Gillen. She'll drive baseline. Cut off. Lost the basketball. It goes out of bounds. Wasn't touched. And Gillen loses it. And Mitchell's turned it over 7 times. 15 combined turnovers for these two clubs. And we're nearly halfway through this second quarter. 12-9 the score. Mitchell's going to drop back into the half court here defensively. Quincy Johnson, a 5'11 sophomore, will check in at the next dead ball. Nordhughes, they ran 2 defenders at her on the perimeter, and the screener on the wing was Meredith Clark. Can't leave her. They did. The lob pass and an easy bucket for Clark down low. Gillen into the paint, and they will wipe away the basket. A foul on the floor comes against Syracuse. 14-9, the Rockets lead. Mitchell here with 4:08 to play. Hallie Wilhelm picks up the personal, her first, just the team's second. Ricky Ayala out as Johnson's into the game. Johnson, a sophomore, in a big spot here. Again, 2 fouls on Kiana Wilfred. So they're going to make Johnson head to the bench. And Ayala's going to check back in. I did not hear exactly what that was about, but Johnson to the bench and Ayala in. And Mitchell will trigger the inbounds pass with Annabelle Gillen. Gillen looks, gets it to Cotant. Cotant lobs it back out high to Jaden Kano. Now Kinsey Kano near the 10-foot volleyball stripe. Comes middle. Feeds a pass to Cotant. Poked away, ball loose on the floor. Now Johnson's going to check back in, so whatever that situation was, it wasn't major. Kinsey Kano, under 3 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the half. Kano, she's going to shoot the 3. Off the mark. Rebound comes off long, and what's the foul going to go? It looks like it's going to go on Dammy. Trying to box out and keep a Mitchell would-be offensive rebounder from tracking down that loose ball in the corner. So here comes Johnson, and there goes Ayala. Jesse Moss, a 5'10 sophomore, into the game as Grace Dammy will take a seat. 3:42. Gillen gets it to Kinsey Kano. Nordhughes defends on the wing. Now Kano up top, younger sister Jaden has it. Top of the key, Cotant. They move it quickly to the left side. Johnson posting. Clark steps out high side to keep the entry pass. And they get a loose ball on the floor. Syracuse comes up with it. It's Lauren Meyer, turnover number 8, committed by Mitchell. 16 combined, 8 apiece for these two clubs here with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the first half. Nordhughes on the catch. Clark wants it down low. Clark turns middle. Whistle, foul called against Mitchell. And Meredith Clark will get 2 shots at the foul line. This goes on Jessica Cotant, so that'll be her second. 2 on Cotant, 2 on Wilfred with 3:10 to play in the first half. And Meredith Clark, again, 54% at the foul line, unable to knock down the first. And here comes Wilfred back into the game, replacing Cotant. So 3:10 to play in the first half. Can Wilfred start to take over? She's yet to score, and she's picked up 2 fouls. She's got to go 3 minutes and 10 seconds here without picking up a third. That would be a big-time play if that's what we see here in the next 3 and change. Clark, a couple of big misses at the stripe. Mitchell rebounds, and they've got it with Johnson. Gillen on the wing left. They are trying to get Wilfred free underneath, ball loose, loose ball underneath, multiple bodies hit the deck. Johnson touched it last along the baseline, and turnover number 9, and it'll go back to the Syracuse Rockets. 17-8 on the season. Mitchell girls basketball today, presented by Dooley Oil. We've got you covered on KNEB TV, 101.7 The Trail, and in the Auburn and Nebraska City area on 103.1 FM KBIE. 2:42 to play in the half. 16 leading 1 right now seed-wise in this round of 16. Syracuse basketball with Nordhughes. She's knocked down 2 big threes already. We've had 3 made three-pointers combined, 2 from Nordhughes. Sturkle reaches in, pokes the ball away from Lauren Meyer. Another thing I visited with their head coach about, Andrew Pryor, he said we really don't have that go-to point guard ball handler to get us out of trouble that can really control the show. And there goes Meyer right to the rim, can't score. Quick shot rebounded by Wilfred. Strong board from Kiana. Here comes Annabelle Gillen. Into the front court, goes right to the rim, would not go. Ball gets batted around, goes up off the iron, out of bounds, last touch by Mitchell. Syracuse will get the basketball back, leading by 5, 14-9 with 2:09 to play in the first half. A low-scoring rock fight. As former Gearing girls head coach Adam Freeberg and I used to joke about when you'd see one of those defensive struggles. A good old rock fight here this afternoon at North Platte. 14-9 the score. Syracuse has the 5-point lead and the basketball. Moss put it on the floor. They'll set it up top with Meredith Clark. Waits for help. And Lauren Meyer. Under 2 minutes to play. Nordhughes has it. Dribbles to the left side wing, well behind the three-point line. Now Clark. They'll swing it right side. Meyer off a screen. Both teams' go-to player being defended well by one another. Wilfred and Clark. Clark. She's a good pressure release valve because Wilfred's really not going to step that far out defensively. Rolling to the bucket. Clark has it. Reverse layup. It would not go. Boy, nifty little attempt on the reverse layup with the right hand. Mitchell with the rebound and into the front court. Kano has it. Minute and 15 seconds to play. Kano. Now Gillen. Behind the arc. A 3 on the way. Off the heel of the iron. Rebounded by Ayala for Mitchell. Ricky Ayala gives it up to Bethany Sturkle. We come up on 1 minute to play in this first half. Sturkle loses it in the open court. Lauren Meyer has it. Meyer goes cross court. Nordhughes, it would not go. Wilfred trying to rebound. We've got a whistle and a jump ball, and the possession arrow will keep it with the Syracuse Rockets. 50.9 to play in this first half of action. Winner advances to the girls C1 state tournament. Clark on the inbounds catch. Gurley does not want to even shoot about a 15-foot jumper, so that's not going to be her spot. She'll set a screen, and she didn't roll immediately. Nordhughes thought she was, threw it away, and turnover number 9. Mitchell has it. 35 seconds to play in the half. Gillen. They close out on her as she picked up her dribble. Dangerous pass to Sturkle. They shoot a pass cross court. A 3 on the way. Off the glass, wouldn't go. Rebounded by Meyer. Head up, outlet pass. They've got a layup if they can make the connection. They make the pass, and scoring it off the square is Sarah Moss. She has her second field goal, and it's a 7-point lead for Syracuse. 16-9. Under 10 seconds to play. Sturkle on the catch. She will shoot a long 3. That comes up short, and the ball goes out of bounds with .6 on the clock. 16-9 is, unless we get a really bad turnover directly underneath the basket on the inbounds pass. They'll throw it in near the wing. Good job by Meyer. 2 hands to cover up. And we've got an upset here in the making through 2 quarters. Mitchell yet to hit double digits, scoring after 2 quarters of play. It is 16-9 with Syracuse, the number 16 seed in this round of 16, leading here at North Platte High School over top-seeded Mitchell. At the break, it is 16-9. We're coming back right after this on KNEB. Jonas, no need to...
Coverage of the Mitchell Tigers on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Dooley Oil. For all your fuel and lubricant needs, it's Dooley Oil. Elite Physical Therapy. Treatment you need, care you deserve. And by Steve's Truck and Equipment. For service, sales, and salvage, it's Steve's Truck and Equipment with 3 locations to serve you in Scottsbluff and Mitchell. Good luck, Lady Tigers.
This is Jane. She thinks she's just filling her car, but she's also filling the air with cancer-causing toxic chemicals used to boost octane in gas. What doesn't burn in the engine enters the air and your lungs, even your heart and brain. Bad for everyone, especially kids. Ethanol is a natural octane booster, clean burning and non-toxic. More ethanol means less scary stuff in our gas and in the air we breathe. And that makes your choice pretty plain, Jane.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com.
High school basketball coverage for you here on a Friday afternoon from North Platte High School. Chris Cottrell here courtside, couple of rows back behind the scorers table. North Platte Senior High, Mitchell girls postseason basketball coverage on KNEB, presented by Dooley Oil. Got you covered on the TV side, 101.7 The Trail and KNEB.com, and also back in the Auburn and Nebraska City area on 103.1 FM, KBIE, today's best country. That's B103. We've got a shocker here at the half. Not really if you talk to Andrew Pryor, the head coach for Syracuse. I'll be quite honest, he told me he liked the matchup. Thought they had played a schedule that featured plenty of big opponents as far as height and some of the post players. Thought they had handled themselves and acquitted themselves well against some of those teams. And this is not the first time they've seen a big player on the opposite side of the bench, talking about Kiana Wilfred. And you know what? Wilfred is scoreless through the 2 quarters so far, and she's also, more importantly than the 0 points, she's picked up 2 personal fouls. So look, she's got 3 still to use in this second half. I'd be shocked if we don't see a much better performance and more aggressive performance. But on the offensive end of the floor right now, Syracuse really doing a good job of bottling her up, keeping her from getting many touches, multiple defenders banging her around as she slides from one block to the other. So a real good game plan thus far for Syracuse and their head coach, Andrew Pryor. We'll add up some of the halftime statistics. It won't take long because we've got a low-scoring game here at the break. 16-9. We'll take another timeout and come back right after this on KNEB.
At Platte Valley Bank, we understand that you have a busy life, and that means you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking with features such as iPay, recurring transfers, and mobile deposit. So you can bank how you want, when you want to. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Have you heard the exciting news? Western Nebraska Regional Airport will be offering flights with United Airlines operated by SkyWest beginning January 30th, 2018. What's even better? You'll get to earn and use your United points. Reservations with United are now available. Plus, all United miles can be earned and redeemed with all flights. While you're at Western Nebraska Regional Airport, grab a bite to eat at the Flight Deck restaurant. Plus, Hearst Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. So make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
2 of 4 complete. We're at halftime with an upset. Little upset brewing here through 2 quarters as 16 seed Syracuse leads top seed Mitchell at the break, 16-9. A very low-scoring, defensive-minded type matchup. Let's take a look here at our halftime statistics. We'll start with Syracuse, whose scoring by quarter went, at least they've been consistent, albeit low scoring, 9 and 7 for their 16 points scoring by quarter. They've turned it over 9 times, 9 crucial turnovers. Mitchell barely better, in fact not. They've got 9 as well. We'll get to Mitchell here in a moment, but first for Syracuse, 4 players have scored. Brooklyn Nordhughes has 2 of the bigger baskets in the game because they were both 3-pointers. In a game that's featured a total of 25 points through the first 16 minutes. A pair of threes, really a big deal. Nordhughes, a 5'7" senior, has 6 points. Sarah Moss has 4. Meredith Clark has 4. 2 of those coming at the foul line. Syracuse is 2 for 4 at the free throw stripe, and 2 points off the bench for Hallie Wilhelm. Add all that up, and you get those 16 points for Syracuse at halftime in this C1-1 district final matchup at North Platte High. For the Mitchell Lady Tigers, I've got them with 9 turnovers unofficially. 7 points in the first quarter, and then 2 points is all. 2 points in the second 8 minutes of action for Mitchell. A real struggle so far on the offensive end of the floor. Kenzie Kano hit the first points of the game for either team, a 3-point field goal. Mitchell's only tray. Annabelle Gillen with 2, Ricky Ayala with 2, and Jessica Cotant scored 2 points in the second quarter, the only 2 points for Mitchell in quarter number 2. Notice the one name that's absent from the scoring chart right now, and that's Kiana Wilford, the 6'3 senior, averages 19 points and 9 rebounds per game, shut out through the opening 16 minutes, and she's also picked up 2 personal fouls. So the first few minutes of the second half, as far as fouls and foul trouble is concerned for Wilfred, will be an absolute key. Halftime score here at North Platte High. It is 16-9 with Syracuse leading Mitchell, with the winner advancing to the girls' state tournament in Lincoln starting next Thursday. We'll come back with second half action approaching right after this on KNEB.
It pays to be the early bird at Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming during our Early Bird Triple Savings Sale. Right now, you'll save 20% on any window and patio door. Plus, don't pay anything until 2020. That's no money down, no payments, and no interest until 2020. Plus, receive a free glass upgrade with the purchase of 3 or more superior quality Renewal by Anderson windows or patio doors. Call 307-472-2199 to book your free in-home estimate today and take advantage of our Early Bird Triple Savings Sale.
We can't warn you that karma is very real. But we can bring you Temperature Tuesdays. Runza makes it all better.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Just a couple of minutes away from the start of the third quarter here at North Platte High School. Both these teams come in, obviously, off solid sub-district performances. Mitchell knocked off Valentine and Chadron up at the Coyne Center at Chadron State College to win their sub, and wins over Auburn and Fairbury for Syracuse as they wrapped up their sub-district championship at Lord Central Catholic last week. Bit of a surprise for many around the state checking in here on this Friday afternoon. Halftime score at 16-9 with Syracuse leading the Mitchell Lady Tigers, a 7-point margin here at the break as Mitchell is trying to advance to their 4th consecutive state tournament in Class C1. Syracuse trying to reach the big dance for the first time since all the way back in 1986. We'll see who's up to the task here in the second half. Money time on the way when we come back right after this on KNEB.
Coverage of the Mitchell Tigers on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Dooley Oil. For all your fuel and lubricant needs, it's Dooley Oil. Elite Physical Therapy. Treatment you need, care you deserve. And by Steve's Truck and Equipment. For service, sales, and salvage, it's Steve's Truck and Equipment with 3 locations to serve you in Scottsbluff and Mitchell. Good luck, Lady Tigers.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
With you, Mitchell girls postseason basketball presented by Dooley Oil, KNEB.TV and 101.7 The Trail, and also today's best country, B103. It's Mitchell basketball to start the second half. They trail by 7. Bethany Sturkle walked with a basketball, some penetration inside the three-point line. That's turnover number 10. And just like the start of the ball game, Mitchell turns it over early on their first possession of each of these halves. Now Syracuse has it in a low-scoring game. Every possession going to be big, and Mitchell doesn't want to fall behind by too much more here to start this third quarter. Brooklyn Nordhughes dumps it off to Clark. Clark misses, grabs her own miss, goes back up, shot contested. 3 cracks, a miss. A third shot, and a lefty scoop shot from right underneath the bucket goes for Brooklyn Nordhus, who leads everyone with 8 points, and the lead now at 9 for Syracuse. Wilfred, that ball stolen away on the deflection. Grabbed by Sarah Moss. 5'11", senior, long, lanky, and athletic on the wing, able to get a hand on the pass. They'll throw it from the right side to the left. Dammy hands it off to Nordhus. She's got a smaller defender, Kenzie Kano, on her. Side screen set by Dammy. They give it off instead to Meredith Clark. Clark wants some help. A backdoor cut. Good job defensively by Annabelle Gillen. 6 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the third quarter. Syracuse leading Mitchell by 9. They whip a pass. Good job to step in front of the intended target that time. Kenzie Kano comes up with the steal. Down by 9. Mitchell's going to have to make some waves here. Find some sort of rhythm on the offensive end. It's not going to come with Wilfred behind the three-point line scoring points, but she's out there. Now they lose the basketball. Mitchell really looks out of sorts at the moment. Now another turnover as Syracuse throws it away. Can Kano hit a big three? Rebound comes off, grabbed by Meredith Clark. We've seen 4 turnovers combined by these two teams here in the first 2 minutes of the second half. Nordhus. Wing to Moss. Sarah Moss on the catch. Puts it on the floor. Gives it to Clark. Step or two behind the free throw line. Bounce pass. Dammy did not even look for the shot. Now a timeout taken. This will be a full timeout taken by Andrew Pryor, the head coach for Syracuse. 5:43 to play in the third. We'll step away. It's 18-9. Third quarter action. Syracuse leads. We're back right after this on KNEB.
The kids need to run off some energy after school or too cold to play outside? Bring them to Planet Bounce at the Monument Mall. With many bounce houses, a concession stand, and the largest redemption arcade around, Planet Bounce has hours of fun. Call today to schedule your birthday party, or ask Ron about renting a bounce house for your party, office party, or corporate event. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Planet Bounce Family Fun Center at the Monument Mall.
Parents, remember your kids are watching you as they're participating in their activity. Set a positive example for your kids to feed off of.
Showing good sportsmanship not only shows good character as a fan, but can also improve productivity among the competitors.
In being a great opponent, you need to have great attitude and respect for the game.
The outcome of the game is out of your control, so sit back and let the athletes do what they do best.
Ball leading 18-9, 5:35 to play in the third quarter. Low scoring game. Nordhus shows ball, puts it on the floor, cut off. Meredith Clark puts it on the deck, can't score it as she tried to drive right by Kiana Wilfred. Had a step, just couldn't finish at the rim. Here comes Annabelle Gillen. She gets deep, it rims out, won't go. Ball comes off, eventually grabbed by Nordhus of Syracuse. Dammy gives it off to Lauren Meyer. Coming up on 3 minutes gone by already in this third quarter. Syracuse ball leading 18-9. Grace, check that. That's Sarah Moss, far side of the floor. There's Dammy. Back cut, wide open. Meyer for 2. Gillen overplaying on the wing. Meyer felt it, cut back door. Pass right on the money. And the bucket there for Syracuse as they lead now 20-9. 11-point lead for Syracuse. Meredith Clark will catch a breather. Nordhus will check out. Opportunity now for Mitchell with 2 of the best players so far today and easily 2 of the most confident players for Syracuse taking a seat with 4 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the third quarter. Meyer defends on the perimeter. Almost got a reach-in steal against Kenzie Kano. Jaden Kano on the floor. Kenzie has it. Behind the three-point line. Multiple defenders trying to just run interference, run traffic, keep the ball out of the hands of Wilfred. They do exactly that, but that leads to a wide open Jessica Cotant on the opposite side of the block, and she converts to get Mitchell back to within 9, 20-11 with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the third quarter. High dribble from Hallie Wilhelm. Bollardson also in the game with Clark on the bench. Wilhelm has it. Wilhelm, a sophomore. Bollardson, a freshman, so some youth on the court for Syracuse. Lauren Meyer. Bounce pass comes to Grace Dammy. Dammy, a backdoor cut, and that's going to be out of bounds. A turnover, number 12, committed by the Rockets. 3 minutes and 54 seconds to play in the third quarter. It's a 9-point lead for Syracuse. Some trapping, full court pressure right now from the Rockets. It's Moss on the point. She has 6, and now a blocking foul as Mitchell gets it across the timeline. And this will go on the freshman, Lily Bollardson. First team foul on either of these clubs here in the third quarter. 3:44 to play in the third. Mitchell trails Syracuse 20-11. Kano inbounds to older sister Kinsey Kano. Kinsey leaves it underneath. Should be easy, and it is for Jessica Cotan. That opposite block right now from Wilfred is the spot Mitchell's trying to get the basketball. Carey on the perimeter. And that turnover charged to Lauren Meyer, the 13th of the ball game. Nordhughes back in immediately. Meyer will sit. Sarah Moss to the bench. And checking in for the first time is Lauren Sifkin, a 5'5 junior. Mitchell's within 7, 20-13, with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the third quarter. Ayala feeds the perimeter to Kinsey Kano. She dribbles top of the key middle. Right side in the corner with it is Cotan. A cutting Wilfred is pushed off her spot, and the foul goes against Bollardson. That'll be her second. How much longer can Coach Pryor for Syracuse go with Meredith Clark on the bench? The rock in the middle. Inbounds pass comes to Kano. 2 defenders, front side, back side. Unable to score it. Block shot underneath. Bollardson going to get called for her third foul as they ran 2 defenders on the catch to Wilfred. That freed up the backside rebounder in Jessica Cotant, and then Bollardson fouled her on the shot. 2 free throws coming for Jessica Cotant. She knocks down 60% on the season. She's 100% for the day. She's got all 5 points for Mitchell in this quarter. Mitchell outscoring Syracuse 5-4. And a pair of makes for Jessica Cotan. Mitchell has scored 6 of the last 8 points here in this game, a little 6-2 run. Meredith Clark is back in. Sifkin has it on the wing. Sifkin being defended by Jaden Kano. A lot of dribbling from Sifkin. Now Nordhughes. They've got Nordhughes and Clark back in the contest. Lob it to the wing. Nordhughes looking for her third 3 of the game. Would not go. Box out from Kinsey Kano, and here comes Mitchell up the floor. They've got it in the half court. Kinsey Kano, 2 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the third. 5-point lead. Wilfred's going to shoot the long 2-point field goal. Well off the mark. Rebounded by Grace Dammy for Syracuse. 2 minutes, 12 seconds to play, quarter number 3. Syracuse with a 5-point lead and the ball. Nordhughes wanted it on the right wing. Instead, dribbling was Wilhelm. They get it to Sifkin. Sifkin with Jaden Kano defending. Went behind the back on the dribble. Seeing a lot of heads down on the dribble right now. Unable to see open teammates underneath. High off the backboard, about a foot above the square on the glass. And it falls for Meredith Clark. She has 6. And the lead back to 7 for Syracuse. Minute and 35 seconds. Jaden Kano from outside. Jaden Kano hits a triple, a 33% three-point shooter. That is big right there for the Lady Tigers. They cut the lead to 4 for Syracuse. They have the ball, leading 22-18. Nordhughes cuts through. Instead, Dammy on the dribble. Cut off by Cotan. Ayala defends on the perimeter, and a double dribble is the call. Helly Wilhelm looked to the bench, unsure of why the whistle was blown. On the dribble, she got the ball, caught on the hip, sort of got caught there for a moment, and they got her for the double dribble. Turnover number 14, a huge number at this point for Syracuse. 1 minute And 12 seconds to play in the third. Mitchell can cut this deficit to 2 or maybe 1 with a made 3. Kano dribble handoff to Annabelle Gillen, who's been quiet. Gillen, deep 2-point field goal. Was it touched? It was not. The ball goes out of bounds. Wilfred knew it wasn't touched. She made a play on it, touched it last. It'll be Syracuse basketball with 60 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 22-18, a 4-point lead for the Rockets of Syracuse High. And they have it into the front court. Up top with it. Now left side wing, Nordhughes. Side screen and roll action to Meredith Clark. Clark to Lauren Meyer. Meyer comes off a screen up top. 40 seconds to play. Clark wants it. Got Wilfred to commit middle. Drop step, the up and under, and a left-hand finish for Meredith Clark, who has 8. Pass comes to Annabelle Gillen. Might have got away with a travel. They got rid of the basketball. It's Kano in the paint, up over multiple defenders. Jaden Kano, no conscience. Has 5, lead back to 4. 14 seconds to play. Should be the final possession of the third. Meredith Clark, now Lauren Meyer. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Will they get a shot with Nordhughes? Not away in time. And 3 quarters are complete here at North Platte. It's going to be a wild finish between Syracuse and Mitchell. Fourth quarter on the way in just a moment. Mitchell trails 24-20. We're back right after this on KNEB.
Heilbrunn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbrunn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Here we go. Mitchell girls basketball in the postseason, brought to you by Dooley Oil at KNEB, and today as well on 103.1 FM, KBIE, Auburn and Nebraska City. Final 8 minutes are on the clock. It's Syracuse basketball. The 16 seed leads number 1 seed Mitchell 24-20. Jaden Kano came up big along with Jessica Cotan. That duo scored all 11 points for Mitchell in the third to keep them in this thing. Low pass to the wing. They want Meredith Clark in the post. On the catch, no, they're going to wipe it away. She walked with it, turning middle. 15 turnovers committed by Syracuse. Their coach, Coach Pryor, said basketball is really not the number 1 sport for this group of girls. They get a steal underneath. A flip up with the right hand. Almost a big play right there. Mitchell now turned it over 12 times. Here comes Annabelle Gillen. Dump pass underneath, intended for Wilfred. Too far. She had to track it down in the opposite corner. Tried to keep it in bounds and then throw it off a Syracuse defender. It didn't touch anyone. Goes back out of bounds. Syracuse has it. And they walk it into the front court with Nordhughes. Lauren Meyer. Now Meredith Clark. Clark throws opposite. Too far. Too tall. Off the fingertips of Sarah Moss. Turnover number 16. We've got 29 combined turnovers in what's been a sloppy affair on both sides. Mitchell ball down by 4. They're staying with some of that trapping pressure. Gillen picks up her dribble. Underhand scoop pass goes to Kenzie Kano. Almost a minute gone by here in the fourth quarter. Gillen on the wing right. Whistle and a push. I believe this will go on Meredith Clark. First foul on Clark. 58 seconds off the clock so far in the fourth. 7:02 to play. Gillen will inbound. Comes right to Cotant, wide open, easy bucket. Jessica Cotant First player on either team to hit double figures. She has 10. Lead back at 2. 9 points has been the biggest lead of the game for Syracuse. Lauren Meyer goes to the rim. Would not drop on the dribble drive off the baseline. She went from wing to baseline left. Long arm with a right. Couldn't get it to go. Underneath. And a shot block from behind. A whistle and a foul as Wilfred will get 2 shots now at the foul line. Mitchell trying to forge their way back into a tie ball game. Kiana Wilfred will be at the stripe, shooting 69% on the season. 6 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the game. 2-point lead, 24-22. Wilfred calmly knocks in the first. That is her first point of the ball game, and it comes with 3 quarters and change already burned here at North Platte. Mitchell looks for the tie. They got it. They scored the game's first 5 points. After that, a 6-0 run, and Syracuse had never trailed or been tied since that spot in the first quarter. 2 makes for Wilfred, and we've got a timeout taken by Mitchell. We'll break as well. Tied at 24. Back with more right after this on KNEB.
We've been an Allo customer from the beginning, 15 plus years.
Almost 15 years.
15 years now. They live here, they work here, they give back to our community. That's very important to us.
It's the difference of night and day between our old internet provider and Allo.
Having that reliability and that speed is extremely important.
Nobody matches that speed. It was a game changer.
Allo came to my site and helped me resolve an issue. At that point, I knew Allo was the company that I wanted to stick with.
Coverage of the Mitchell Tigers on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Dooley Oil. For all your fuel and lubricant needs, it's Dooley Oil. Elite Physical Therapy. Treatment you need, care you deserve. And by Steve's Truck and Equipment. For service, sales, and salvage, it's Steve's Truck and Equipment with 3 locations to serve you in Scottsbluff and Mitchell. Good luck, Lady Tigers.
B.TV on the trail, and also today's best country, B103. We're tied up at 24. Syracuse and Mitchell with a berth to the C1 state tournament here on the ladies' side up for grabs here at North Platte High School. Nordhughes, Brooklyn Nordhughes comes off a screen. They find a cutter to the bucket off the square. Too strong, rebounded by Wilfred, who's really starting to show some dominance in the paint, rebounding the basketball. She's on the catch. Puts it on the floor, goes strong to the bucket, too strong, and a reach-in foul is going to go against Mitchell after the rebound was grabbed by Grace Dammy. The foul called against Jaden Kano. That'll be her first. First foul of the half called against Mitchell. 5 fouls have been called against Syracuse. Tie game, low-scoring game, free throws, and the ability to get to the line could be huge down the stretch. 6 minutes to play in one of these teams' season, 6 minutes before someone advances to Lincoln. Sarah Moss, a long 2-point field goal. Shot off the mark, rebound comes off, grabbed by Jessica Cotant, who gave it up to Kinsey Kano, and that's foul number 6, and this one goes against Sarah Moss for the Syracuse Rockets. Coach Pryor and the Rockets 17-8. Sean Harvey and the Lady Tigers from Mitchell have been another dominant 23-1 this season. We're tied up at 24. Mitchell with a chance to take the lead. They're into the front court with the basketball. Squeezing the orange near the right corner is Jaden Kano. Kano on the right-hand dribble. Kano inside the arc, now behind the arc. Picks up her dribble, finds Wilfred. Wilfred in the corner, bounce pass, almost intercepted, ball loose, out of bounds. Last touch by Syracuse. 5:23 to play, tied at 24. Gillen will inbound, far sideline. Annabelle Gillen will pop the pass into the hands of Jaden Kano. Older sister Kinsey goes to get it. They'll set a high screen with Wilfred. Kano on the drive, off the square, wouldn't go. Rebound, who touched it last? They're going to say out of bounds. Last touch by Syracuse. And checking in on this dead ball is Hallie Wilhelm, a 5'8 sophomore. Nordhughes to the bench. Pass comes to Kano. Kano in traffic underneath. Ball comes off the iron. Offensive rebound. Cotant has it. Right block. Pass deflected. Intercepted by Syracuse. Lauren Meyer. He'll give the basketball up to Wilhelm. Still tied at 24. Under 5 minutes to play in the game. Grace Dammy on the wing right side. Meredith Clark. They've got Clark without the defender right now being Wilfred. Ball is touched last by Mitchell. Not sure. You might have had a call on the opposite end that should have gone to Syracuse, and almost think I saw Syracuse touch that one last. So, you know what? Everything evens out in the end. Inbounds pass to Sarah Moss. Missed a long 2 moments ago. Now Lauren Meyer, a deep 3, banks it in. Lauren Meyer. My word, a 3 ball that uses the square to fall. In the backcourt, Mitchell. Going to have to handle the pressure, the zone press here down the stretch, and this time Sturkle throws it over the head of Cotant and out of bounds. Mitchell's turned it over 3 times in the fourth quarter, 2 turnovers for Syracuse, and I like this decision. Back to some pressure right now for Mitchell defensively. Syracuse looks to be all right with Wilhelm handling. Bounce pass comes to Dammy. About halfway through this fourth quarter, Lauren Meyer. Moments ago, banked in a tray. Sarah Moss. Wilhelm in the corner. Back to Dammy. Bollardson, the freshman post players in the game. Dribbling on the perimeter. Meyer, they're waving him out. Coach Pryor wants him to back the basketball up. They've got a 3-point lead. There's a whistle and a carry. Yep, she carried the basketball. And that's the danger when you go to a little bit of a milk the clock. You've got to have players you can count on to make good decisions, protect the basketball, all of that. They didn't get a shot, and they wind up turning it over. Mitchell with a chance to cut it to 1, maybe tie instead. A lob pass into traffic. They turn it over, and it's Meyer into the front court. Meyer loses the dribble, dangerously close to another carrier walk. Multiple substitutes. 3-ball, banking it in. Meyer, another bank 3. 4 trays in the game for Syracuse. They get a steal on the inbounds pass. Bollardson grabs a miss. Bollardson fouled. Mitchell in trouble right now. They've got to regroup. There's not much you can do about banked in triples, but then they throw the inbounds pass away. They've turned it over 16 times. 5 of those here in the quarter. Bollardson just a 50% foul shooter. She will get 2. Bollardson got the roll. First point of the game for Lily Bollardson. 3:22 to play down the stretch in this fourth quarter. It's Syracuse leading Mitchell, 16 seed, leading the 1 seed, 31-24 in a low-scoring grinder here at North Platte High. Pair of huge makes for Bollardson at the line. More pressure now. That trapping zone, full court pressure D right now from Syracuse. They'll trap in the corner. Kenzie Kano to Annabelle Gillen. This also really just slows down Mitchell's offensive attack. Cross-court pass to Jaden Kano. Dangerous pass. On the catch. Underneath. That should be easy for Wilfred. It's her first basket of the game. And a timeout taken by Mitchell. 32-26 is the count. 3:07 to play. Timeout on the floor. We'll come back after a quick break on KNEB. Jonas, this break.
When students can learn faster than teachers can talk. We are redesigning instructional delivery to foster curiosity and relevance to the real world. We are doing more than giving them devices. Our professional, progressive, and personal staff prepare them for life. At Moral Schools, your child can thrive.
7 to play on Caney-B in today's best country, B103. 3:07 to go in the game. Syracuse, the 16 seed, leading top seed Mitchell in C1. The C1-1 final. It's 32-26. Full court pressure from the Lady Tigers. Handling it and turning it over is Hallie Wilhelm, the 5'8 sophomore, and she is coming immediately out of the game as Lauren Meyer checks in. Surprised they didn't have Meyer on the court coming out of that last Mitchell timeout. 18 turnovers for Syracuse, 16 for Mitchell, 34 combined. It's been a little bit ugly at times, but the win column awaits for one of these two clubs. Kano thought about the three. Now it's Ayala. Right side, Ayala gives it back to Jaden Kano. Annabelle Gillen. They are really making them work. Whistle. They're going to count the bucket. They are. Annabelle Gillen comes up huge. We had contact. Thought it might be an offensive foul. Instead, they say Gillen gets the bucket and a foul. Huge turn of events right there from Mitchell as they are within 4. Chance to make it a 3-point deficit. It's Syracuse leading 32-28. Gillen on the year, a 71% foul shooter, so that's the one you want at the line if you're Mitchell. Gillen has 4 points, make it 5 now after the foul shot. Grace Dammy to the bench. The lead is 32-29. They need to put one more point up on the board for Mitchell. 32-28. They're waiting to tally that point. Now it's up on the board. Full court pressure. Inbounds pass comes to Lauren Meyer. Meyer low to the floor dribble. 2 minutes, 35 seconds to play. Clark sets a screen in the backcourt. Lauren Meyer will dribble out near now the 10-foot volleyball stripe. Syracuse going to have to be strong and fundamentally sound with the basketball here late. Mitchell backs off defensively. Nordhughes just going to back off on the dribble. Jaden Kano picks up her dribble, or forced the ball handler to pick up her dribble. Almost a backcourt violation, and it is. That's a bad call. I mean, I'm looking dead across the court, and I think Mitchell might have caught a break. The ball never touched the opposite side of the floor, and I don't think her foot was on the center court stripe. Down by 3, Mitchell might have caught the break they needed as Kinsey Kano has it in the front court. Dribble handoff goes to Annabelle Gillen for a tying 3, left it short, and a nice strong rebound by Lauren Meyer. Pressure in the backcourt, and a timeout taken by Andrew Pryor. Dangerously close Meyer was to just dribbling wildly and losing it away out of bounds. We'll keep it right here, kind of reset things for you. It has been a wild one. Bodies all over the place at times. Basketball all over the place at times, and not in a good way. With turnovers, I've got Mitchell unofficially with 16, Syracuse with 18. Syracuse has been loose with the ball in some crucial spots with a lead here in the fourth quarter. So far in the quarter, they have 2 banked 3 balls from Lauren Meyer, and Lily Bollardson, a freshman post player off the bench, has a couple of foul shots where she's just a 50% shooter on the season. For Mitchell, 4 points in the quarter for Wilfred, including her only field goal of the game. That's all 4 of her points. Gillen has 3 in the quarter, and Jessica Cotant has 2, and she's in double figures with 10, the only player on either team with 10 or more points. Wilfred, Kano, Gillen, and Ayala. Nordhughes at first 5 for Mitchell. Nordhughes, Clark, Moss, Meyer, and Wilhelm right now for Syracuse. Inbounds pass comes in for Syracuse. They get it to Clark. They're able to handle the pressure. They get it up the front court, and they'll reset the offense. Nordhughes on the catch. Pressure defense on the perimeter, and Annabelle Gillen. Good decision here by Sean Harvey, the head coach for Mitchell. Mitchell's only committed right there. That was just their 3rd team foul of the half, and trailing by 3, they might be in a spot where they need to foul here at some point. Bounce pass comes inbounds, and Syracuse. Mitchell probably going to try and go foul immediately. Bounce pass to Meyer on the wing left side, same spot where she banked in 2 threes earlier. Jaden Kano, dribble handoff, goes to Sarah Moss. Moss with Kinsey Kano defending. They'll hand it off to Nordhughes. Minute and 22 seconds to play. Nordhughes dribbles middle. Nordhughes bumped off her spot. They feed the perimeter, shooting the three. Not what Syracuse wanted, but they get the offensive rebound. Moss missed the triple, and now Mitchell probably going to need to foul because they just got to pile up a few of these fouls so at some point they can send Syracuse to the line. That'll be their fourth. This one called on Kinsey Kano. Ill-advised three-point shot moments ago from Sarah Moss, who's a 28% three-point shooter. Not what Coach Pryor wanted, but a key offensive rebound saved the possession, and now they'll inbound the basketball. Pass comes in to Clark, sealed off Wilfred. Nobody home behind Clark and Wilfred, and an easy finish for Meredith Clark. She's now got 10, leads at 6 for Syracuse with under a minute to play. Jaden Kano, wild shot, it goes! Count it for Jaden Kano, my word. She has got 7 points here in the half and a chance to cut it back to a 2-point lead. 34-31, Kano, a 52% free throw shooter. She'll get one off the mark, rebounded by Hessler, who's in the game. They get it to Kano, ball deflected. Outside, Gillen shoots it for the tie, in and out. Ball comes out, rebound, opposite corner, grabbed by Nordhughes. Nordhughes has Clark open underneath. Pass it up the floor to Dammy. 36 seconds to play. Syracuse leads. Ball loose. It's on the floor. Foul called against Syracuse. And Lauren Meyer. Wild Woolley. And people are on the deck. Dammy's down. And folks are getting fired up here in the stands. 33.2 to play in the game. Dammy hit the floor hard. And she is down still here on the Syracuse side, just in front of the Syracuse bench. It'll be Kinsey Kano at the foul line when play resumes. Let's hope the best for Grace Dammy. 33.2. Didn't see exactly what happened. We'll take a quick timeout. Well, let's hold on right here. Dammy's to her feet, and she's going to walk to the Syracuse bench with a little bit of help. Can't tell what the ailment is, but the Syracuse faithful behind me feel that a foul call was missed. And in that situation, you know Mitchell is going to foul. So you almost expect that whistle to come, and you almost expect the officials to have a quick whistle. The whistle came, but it was after the ball was poked away, and Kano had come up with it. She'll get a 1-and-1. Rims in, pops out. Meredith Clark the board. Fouled by Kinsey Kano. So Meredith Clark, who is 2 for 4 at the free throw line, but that will not be where we're heading. That is foul number 5. So still 2 to give. And we'll see if Mitchell is able to capitalize here with some full court pressure. Kano out. Hessler checks in. Nope, it'll be Jaden Kano staying. Jessica Cotan to the bench as Ansley Hessler comes into the game. Full court pressure in Syracuse. The inbound to Lauren Meyer. Meyer head up. Long pass ahead to Clark. Clark goes to the bucket. Comes out. Ball rebounded by Wilfred. She gets rid of it. Ball loose at midcourt. Kinsey Kane, or check that. That's Annabelle Gillen. Pass ahead. Ansley Hessler outside. Annabelle Gillen goes to the rim. Counted in a foul. A chance to tie for Mitchell with 11.1 to go here in regulation. The catch, the hesitation on the pump fake. The defender flew out to the perimeter. Annabelle Gillen, a trusted senior leader for this Mitchell Lady Tiger Club, goes right to the bucket, drew some contact. She now has 5 points in the quarter. So here's the setup, 11.1 to play. 34-33, Syracuse leads it by 1. Mitchell at the line with Annabelle Gillen, a 71% free throw shooter. A make, and we're tied. A miss, and Syracuse is going to have to box out because you know who looms underneath. Big 6'3", Kiana Wilfred. An offensive rebound off a miss, and a putback could win the game. Mitchell would prefer to make the free throw and just tie this thing up and play it out from there. But on a miss, They've got to box out if you're Syracuse, and they've got the personnel to do just that with Meredith Clark, who took a quick shot down on this end of the floor just a few moments ago. 34-33. All Clark had to do really was hold on to the basketball. Again, force another whistle and a foul. And this is Gillen at the stripe, again 71% on the season. A make and we're tied, a miss, and they need Wilford to come up with a big board. Annabelle Gillen ties it up. Gillen has 6 in the quarter. Meyer has the basketball, a reach-in foul called against Annabelle Gillen, not a killer. That's the 6th foul called on Mitchell here in the half. One more and a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Rockets. 9.5 to play. Meyer sprints to get the basketball. Crossover dribble, lob. She walked with it in the backcourt as Syracuse is crumbling right now. Timeout taken by Sean Harvey and the Lady Tigers. Mitchell trying to steal one away from the 16 seed here in the final moments. 6.9 to play. We'll stay right here. 34-34. Mitchell needs a bucket. They will inbound from the far sideline near the corner. So kind of a tricky spot to inbound the basketball from when we come out of this timeout. 10 fouls have been called on Syracuse, so another whistle and Mitchell will be at the line to shoot 2. 6.9 to play in regulation. It's been a wild finish down the stretch here in the fourth quarter. Syracuse has led by as many as 9. They've led by as many as 8 here in the fourth after leading by 4 at the end of 3. 6.9 to play. Mitchell hits the floor with Wilfred, Cotant, Kano, and Gillen. You've got to be sure on the inbounds pass. If you're passing it back towards the midcourt area, make sure the pass gets to its target. A tip, a deflection, dribble handoff. Kano has it. Kano gives it up. Gillen gives it up to Kano. Kano had her shot blocked, and we're going to play an extra session here at North Platte. Does the momentum heavily shift back to the favorite, the top seed Mitchell Tigers? Or does Syracuse have enough left in the tank here? We'll take a quick timeout, come back with overtime right after this on KNEB.
With Viero's entertainment trifecta package, never miss the big play. Work on becoming the new and improved you, or invite friends to compete in the game. Get the power of free. Get 2 new lines of HD Plus and internet service, and we will give you Sling TV, an Air TV player, and a big screen TV, all for free. Get the entertainment trifecta package today. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected to the content you love.
Arby's 2 for $5 mix and match is here for a limited time. How limited? If I tell you, will you still come right now versus putting it off until oops, the deal is over?
Arby's, we have the meats.
For sandwiches.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Need an extra 4 minutes on the clock as we're set to play overtime here at North Platte High School. This girls C1-1 district final. Championship trophy down to my right, a few rows in front of me. More importantly than that trophy, an extra bus trip to be made coming up next week. A spot in the C1 state tournament in Lincoln on the line here in the final, or what we think could be the final 4 minutes of this basketball game. Mitchell controls the opening tip here in overtime. We're tied at 34. Mitchell 23-1, Syracuse 17-8. The Rockets have been more than up to the task so far here this afternoon. Jaden Kano on the wing left. Jessica Cotant catches short corner. They lob it in to Wilfred. Wilfred with some contact. They feed the ball back outside to Kinsey Kano. Lob it underneath. Pass is stolen away and intercepted. Turnover 17. Committed by Mitchell. Syracuse with 3:25 on the clock, tied at 34. Lauren Meyer picks up her dribble, free throw line. Jumper falls for Lauren Meyer. I'll be honest, the first basket of this overtime session, especially for Syracuse, scoring first, really feels like that was needed for Syracuse. If Mitchell was able to get on the board, build some confidence here in this extra session after a fourth quarter comeback, maybe the ball starts rolling downhill for the Lady Tigers, and Syracuse unable to recover. Instead, another throwaway. Gillen's pass off the left hand of Wilfred. It goes out of bounds. Full court pressure for Mitchell. 2:54 on the clock. It feels like an eternity at this point. Nordhughes on the catch. Pass middle, intercepted. Underneath, wide open. Gillen ties it up off the assist from Kiana Wilfred. Annabelle Gillen now with 10. Syracuse just got a little frantic with the basketball. Nordhughes goes behind her back and almost dribbles it away in traffic. Nordhughes hands it off to Lauren Meyer. 2:27 to play. Meyer, high dribble. Left wing, Nordhughes on the catch. Smaller defender on her. In the game, that's Jessie Moss. Has not played a ton of minutes here in this one. Block shot underneath. Wilfred swats it away from Sarah Moss. Here comes Annabelle Gillen. Lob it underneath. Wilfred on the catch. Mitchell leads for the first time since 5-0. Wilfred has 6. They lob it into Nordhughes. Outlet pass up ahead. Jessie Moss has it. Moss picks up her dribble, waits for help. Still looking for a teammate. Timeout taken by Andrew Pryor and Syracuse. 1:51 to play. We'll stay right here. 38-36. Action's been hectic and frantic. Play has been at times good, at times not. Plenty of turnovers here today. And now an exciting extra session, overtime. It'll be Syracuse basketball out of the timeout. They took the timeout, trailing now 38-36. They led by as many as 8 points in the fourth quarter, led by 4 at the end of 3. Upped it to 8. Mitchell rallied late. Syracuse was unable to handle some full length of the court pressure. And now it's Syracuse under the gun, trailing by 2, needing a good offensive possession. They've got to look to Meredith Clark. I don't care if Kiana Wilfred's the one defending her. Clark's their top scorer and the one they want to get the basketball to, and that's where they got to go. Clark has it. One dribble. Now picks it up in an odd spot on the floor. Loose. Ball still loose. Grabbed by Meyer. Goes to the rim. Can't score the layup. Whistle. Jump ball. It'll stay with Syracuse. Meyer couldn't score it, but a good job to force the tie-up. And Syracuse will inbound underneath their own basket. Comes in quickly to Meredith Clark. Leaned right into Kiana Wilfred. Drew the whistle and the foul. That'll be a shooting foul. It goes on Wilfred, her third. She's done a great job here in the second half. Kiana has really, she had 2 fouls, sat for a little bit in that first half, and until now had played this entire half foul-free. Meredith Clark to shoot 2. Too strong on the first. Multiple substitutions. Good to see Grace Damney come back into the game. Jessie Moss and Lauren Meyer take a seat. Some Syracuse fans up behind me upset with the substitution pattern, it sounds like. Clark hits 1 of 2. Mitchell leads by 1. Bollardson will check in now for Meredith Clark. Leads at 38-37. Minute and 35 seconds to play. Nordhughes will pick up Kano as she comes across the center court stripe, and Sean Harvey and Mitchell, they'll take a timeout. 90 seconds to play in overtime. 38-37. We'll have another game for you coming up here in a little bit on 101.7 The Trail with Jeff Kelly. Setting up shop over at North Platte St. Patrick's High School for that C2 district final between the Baird Lady Tigers, the upstart Tigers, and the heavy favorite Hastings St. Cecilia, with just 1 loss on the season, and that loss came against Class B Grand Island Northwest. The business at hand here at North Platte Senior High, 90 seconds on the clock here in overtime. It'll be Mitchell basketball out of the timeout. They lead 38-37. Trailed by as many as 9 in the game. Trailed by as many as 8 as late as the fourth quarter. They have it with Annabelle Gillen, that trusted senior leader, inbounding from the far wing. They lob it in to sophomore Jaden Kano. Sarah Moss defending. Jessica Cotant back to Jaden Kano. They'll throw it across the court to Annabelle Gillen. Mitchell looks very content to just hold the basketball, and a blocking foul goes against Sarah Moss. 5'11 senior picks up her second. And Jaden Kano will shoot 2 at the stripe, 52% on the season for the sophomore Kano. 1:16 to play. Kano rims in and out. Lead sticks at 1 for Mitchell. Vollertson and Wilhelm to the bench as Clark and Lauren Meyer re-enter the game for head coach Andrew Pryor and the Syracuse Rockets. 38-37. Jaden Kano hits the second. That's big. She's got 8, and the lead's at 2. 39-37, a minute and 10 seconds to play in the game. Lauren Meyer called for a screen, went the opposite way. Up top, Meredith Clark. Right side, Sarah Moss comes off a screen. Grace Dammy. Dammy will not look for the shot. She's not looked for her shot much today. Lauren Meyer with a runner. Short. Rebound grabbed by Jessica Cotant. Cotant gets it to Kano. They get the ball in the hands of Gillen. Now back to Kenzie Kano. Annabelle Gillen has it. 40 seconds to play. They lob it cross court. In the corner, Cotant. Back to Jaden Kano. They're going to have to run and foul here quickly. They do. They get Kenzie Kano. 32.9 to play. The foul goes on Sarah Moss. 32.9 on the clock. It'll be Kenzie Kano at the stripe. 48% free throw shooter. She'll get 2. Hits the first. This one is huge, would make it a 2-possession game. Mitchell leads by 4. Kano, ice in the veins. Lauren Meyer going to have to rush the ball up the floor now. Meyer comes left. Meyer, they set a screen. Moss going to set her feet at the free throw, or at the three-point line, and stepping out defensively to help was Kiana Wilford. She blocked the shot. And a foul called after the block shot. Syracuse now, their backs against the wall. Mitchell looking in pretty good shape with 21 seconds to play in overtime, leading 41-37. Kano with 3 big makes here in a row down the stretch in this extra session. Chance to make it a 6-point lead, and for all intents and purposes, send Mitchell a link, and they do. 4 for 4 at the stripe for Kano. Mitchell leads 43-37. It's their biggest lead of the game, led by 5 when it was 5-0, and then they never led again until this overtime session. In the corner, underneath, Nordhughes can't get the shot. Rebound comes off. Under 10 to play. Meredith Clark will shoot a 3. Tried to draw the foul. Grabs her miss. Scores it. And Coach Pryor and Syracuse call the timeout. Meredith Clark has 3 of Syracuse 5 points in overtime. And with 2.7 to play, it'll take a miracle at this point for the Rockets. Down by 4. Mitchell in great shape. What a bunch of heart these Lady Tigers have shown down the stretch here today. Trailed by 8 in the fourth, able to rally back, tie this thing up, send it to overtime. Syracuse scored first, but Mitchell has sort of controlled things here in the extra session. They've scored 9 points in overtime after scoring 7, 2, 11, and 14. They put up 9 in well, just about 4 minutes now. It's Hessler, Wilfred, Kano, Ayala, and Gillen. The 5 on the floor for Mitchell head coach Sean Harvey. Ayala will inbound. It comes to Wilfred. A quick foul, and with 2 seconds to play, Kiana Wilfred will shoot 2 on the other end of the floor. Jeff Kelly will probably wrap up pretty quickly on a camera here and get over to North Platte St. Pat's when this game is over. (43-39) as Wilfred unable to knock it down, but this thing, even off a miss here, it would take a foul and a heave and a basket to fall and then a free throw. A near miracle needed right now for Syracuse. 2 seconds to go in overtime. 2 seconds left in the game. Wilfred gets 1 of 2, 3 points in the quarter. And the inbound and a heave from Lauren Meyer, and the Mitchell Lady Tigers come all the way back in the fourth quarter. And for the 4th straight season, Mitchell advances to the Class C1 state tournament. They get the job done here in comeback fashion at North Platte High School, and they get the win, the final 44-39, as Mitchell defeats Syracuse in this C1-1 district championship game. Again, the final 44-39. We'll have the post-game show coming up right after this.
Shopping local is great for building our community. TC&More offers the newest trends and latest fashions, from jewelry to clothing to purses. Enjoy complimentary coffee as you browse their ever-changing inventory. Perhaps you would like to spruce up your home with some new home decor or flags or willow tree figurines. Remember the large selection of games, as well as homemade soaps and lotions for that one-of-a-kind gift. Thank you for thinking of TC&More for those special items. TC&More, 1621 Broadway in beautiful downtown Scottsbluff.
The kids need to run off some energy after school or too cold to play outside? Bring them to Planet Bounce at the Monument Mall. With many bounce houses, a concession stand, and the largest redemption arcade around, Planet Bounce has hours of fun. Call today to schedule your birthday party, or ask Ron about renting a bounce house for your party, office party, or corporate event. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Planet Bounce Family Fun Center at the Monument Mall.
Well, it was a wild one here this afternoon at North Platte Senior High. Mitchell comes back from trailing by as many as 8 points in the fourth quarter, and they win it in overtime here against upstart Syracuse, the 16 seed, the final 44-39. We'll add up some of these final post-game numbers. We'll have more coming up for you, including a look at all the scoring totals, maybe try and catch up with head coach Sean Harvey. We'll do that when we come back right after this on KNEB. Logos in Gearing is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees, and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gearing.
Byers Realty would like to remind everyone that school is back in session, so make sure and watch for little ones in crosswalks. Be mindful of school speed zones, and take a second to double check for pedestrians and bicyclists. We want all of our young students to have a wonderful and safe year. Visit callbyersrealty.com or stop by the office on Avenue B, next to Bumper to Bumper. The Panhandle's best, Byers Realty. Community strong, community proud. We have what you're looking for. We're back on KNEB late this afternoon
from North Platte High School here at the senior high in North Platte. Let's catch up with Mitchell head coach Sean Harvey. Coach, first and foremost, how about the grit, the toughness, the heart that your young lady showed today? Down by as many as 9 in the game. You trailed by as many as 8 in the fourth quarter. Able to get it done, get it to overtime, take control, and you head to state for the 4th straight season.
Well, I tell you, Chris, that's just the heart. It took some heart and some guts to win this game. The girls, I don't know why, but they just came in tight in that first half, and we had really uncharacteristic turnovers. We talked to them and said, if you just settle down and play our game, we've got this. And it just seemed like the further we got into the game, the better they settled down. We started attacking. Annabelle Gillen did one heck of a job for us late in that fourth quarter, getting us back in there. I mean, she really drove the ball hard. Just the aggression right there was what we needed. But yeah, just to gut this one out, that's just the heart of these kids.
Jessica Cotant in the third quarter had 6 big points for you. Jaden Kano finished with 8 points, all in the second half. She scored some in the third, fourth, and a free throw in overtime. You mentioned Annabelle after a quiet half, so a lot of the players that maybe you wouldn't expect to have the big game stepped up when you needed them most.
Well, and that's the thing. We know every team is gonna try to double Kiana down low. That's every team's game plan, which it would be mine. We finally got to see that backside, and that was where Jessica, she plays that backside really well. We were able to get our eyes up and see that backside pass. And once we got going, and that's the thing, it's like we were treading water in that first half. And once we got going, everything kind of fell into place finally.
What were you seeing from their game plan as far as trying to keep Kiana quiet? I mean, she picked up the 2 quick fouls, and you had to sit her down, but she got back in with about 3 and change to go in the half. She didn't score her first points until the fourth quarter. You've got to credit Coach Pryor. They did a tremendous job.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. They were throwing 2 to 3 players at her. Our other players just weren't seeing the openings. Other teams have done that to us before. But yeah, I credit Syracuse. They have a solid team. Everybody on their team has a lot of heart also, and they came at us and gave us everything they had. So I give a lot of credit to them.
Well, now that you've been able to, I don't know if you've actually exhaled yet or been able to, you got the win, Coach.
I can't talk right now.
You got the win, Coach. Now, how about the accomplishment now of 4 straight trips to Lincoln? And, boy, that is something special.
Well, yeah, and that's just a credit to the kids, the way they buy into the system. This is a heck of a group of seniors that we've got that have just, they've been, instrumental in every year that we've been there. We've had some phenomenal players come through before that, but this group here is pretty special. The neat thing is they have shown the younger group what it really takes. Just like you said, Jaden, and Ansley Hester, we got girls that come off the bench. Our younger kids are starting to give us some depth that's really important for us.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the big win here today. I know it wasn't as easy as many of us thought or many folks might have thought, but, hey, this is why you play the games, and you guys were able to survive and advance, and that's all that matters this time of year. Heck of a way to start a weekend, I might add, as well.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Chris.
Now we all need to get home safely. You guys do exactly that. We'll talk to you next week, and then we'll all head east.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Chris.
You bet. We'll come back with more right after this on KNEB.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gearing, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gearing at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
The Mixing Bowl in Gearing, serving breakfast and lunch every day using Grandma Ruth's recipes for 5 years. Stop for lunch and try a Cali Turkey BLT or one of our gourmet burgers. Have a homemade cabbage burger or butterball soup on Thursdays, or try our weekend brunch and have cinnamon roll pancakes or the roasted duck Benedict. Stop by the Mixing Bowl on your way to work and grab a freshly baked muffin, Grebel, or Dana Kuga out of our bakery case and a specialty coffee made just for you. The Mixing Bowl, 1945 10th Street in Gearing, bringing great food and great people together.
Back on KNEB.TV, Mitchell girls basketball coverage presented by Dooley Oil. The TV side, also 101.7 The Trail. And For you folks listening in the Auburn, Nebraska City area back east on today's Best Country B103, be proud of those Syracuse Rockets as they gave a very strong performance, and more than the performance, they showed a lot of toughness and heart and effort here in what turns out to be a season-ending 5-point loss, the final score of 44-39. Let's run through some of the closing numbers here as we played 4.5 quarters. That's a nice way of saying we played an extra session. In overtime, Mitchell outscored Syracuse by 5. They win it 44-39. Let's start with Syracuse. The Rockets had one player hit double figures. That was their 6-foot senior, 13 points per game. She hit that number, Meredith Clark. Two other players had 8 points, Lauren Meyer and Brooklyn Nordhughes. And 6 points in the game for Sarah Moss, 2 points apiece for Hallie Wilhelm and Lily Vollertson. For the Mitchell Lady Tigers, 2 in double figures had Annabelle Gillen and Jessica Cotant each with 10. 8 points for Jaden Kano, huge second half off the bench for Mitchell. 7 points for older sister Kinsey. Kiana Wilfred, who averages 19, held in check with 7, and 2 points in the game for senior Ricky Ayala. As Mitchell survives and moves on, trailed by as many as 8 in the fourth quarter, trailed by 4 after 3, so multiple comebacks here in this game. They led 5-0 and then never led again until overtime, so stick-to-itiveness, a great characteristic to have as a basketball team this time of the year. 1 survives 16, 44-39. We'll come back and wrap up our broadcast right after this on KNEB.
With Viero's Entertainment Trifecta package, never miss the big play. Work on becoming the new and improved you, or invite friends to compete in the game. Get the power of free. Get 2 new lines of HD Plus and internet service, and we will give you Sling TV, an Air TV player, and a big screen TV, all for free. Get the Entertainment Trifecta package today. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected to the content you love.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gearing, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gearing at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
Girls basketball here in the postseason presented by Dooley Oil on KNEB. Big thanks to all our listeners back east today on 103.1 FM, KBIE, Auburn and Nebraska City. A game effort from the 16 seed Syracuse Rockets, but top seed Mitchell. It's the Lady Tigers off to Lincoln for a 4th consecutive season. They got their first ever state tournament win in school history last year with a round 1 win over Pierce. Then fell in round 2 to eventual state champ Columbus SCOTUS and lost the 3rd place game over at one of the local high schools in Lincoln. I can't remember which one we were at that Saturday morning, but they got taken apart really by Lincoln Christian and their dynamic backcourt. So good chance Lincoln Christian involved once again next week at the state tournament. But for today, the exhale is a big one for the Mitchell Lady Tigers, down by 8 in the 4th, able to force overtime. They win it by 5, 44-39. A huge second half comeback showing for Mitchell. 2 in double figures with Annabelle Gillen and Jessica Cotant. Don't forget Jaden Kano with those 8 points off the bench. She was huge. And older sister Kinsey sank 4 out of 4 at the free throw line down the stretch in overtime to help salt this thing away. Mitchell defeats Syracuse. Both teams showed a lot of grit and toughness, heart, effort, all those adjectives you want to use. They fit this ball game today. Even though it wasn't the cleanest game on both of these sides, hey, effort and heart, that's what gets it done a lot of times this time of the year. And Mitchell comes through in the end with the 44-39 win. Jeff Kelly's heading over to North Platte St. Pat's. Big thanks from Jeff coming down early with Chuck to run a camera. Chuck was up top on a camera, and his buddy Jim Standow, who lives here in North Platte, longtime friend of Chuck's from their time together in the North Platte area, helping us out. So a big thanks to all those folks. And, of course, TJ Albright, the man to my right, the man at the controls, getting things done on the TV side here from North Platte High. And Our guy Jonas back at the station on the trail, getting us on and off the air, everything else in between. So we'll get Jeff pregame started at 4:45, and then opening tip at 5 right here on the trail. It'll be the Bear Lady Tigers trying to stun Hastings St. Cecilia in that Class C2 district final. That'll do it from North Platte High. For TJ, I'm Chris. Jeff will talk to you here in just a little while. More high school basketball coverage to come on KNEB. That'll do it from North Platte, and another thanks to our listeners back in the Auburn, Nebraska City area. Today's Best Country B103. Hope all you folks enjoyed the broadcast despite the outcome. A game effort for the Syracuse Rockets. That's all from here. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. So long, and good afternoon.
Logos in Gearing is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees, and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll
Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant today to learn how Extract can work for you too.
Do you want to make a difference for kids, for people in poverty, for the environment?